Okay, let's see if this works. Anybody here? Hello? That is so annoying. Oh, crumbs. Ah, here she is. Thank God. Guys. Oh, thank goodness you're coming back in the room. Oh my goodness, that was a technical hitch that I was not expecting. I am so very bloody sorry. The what happened, Astra went live before me, so became like the #1 host. So when she left the room closed down. And so I've had to restart the room, but because I'm restarting, we've had to dump the old replay. So I've just lost the whole of Astra's session for the replay, which is devastating because I would have loved to have kept that, because I think that was the really important part of people's like seeing it, but I couldn't start the live until it let me delete the old one, and then this will be the version of the replay, which breaks my heart. I'm actually heartbroken. Bless. And she will have to come back. I know, right? We're just gonna have to do that. Wellness tips. I'm just uploading a new preview. Bear with. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else is back in the room or if it's just us, my darling. I know we're here, but I don't know if anyone else can come on the link. But on a positive side, an excuse to redo. Exactamundo. I'm just so sad. It was so good, and I would have loved to put that on my YouTube, because I feel like people that can't come today wanted the replay, and I'm just so sad. I can still see all the old chat. Do you want me to copy and paste it? No, because it's not really the chat that's important. Thank you though, my darling. It's not really the chat, it was what she was saying. But thanks. I could honestly cry, because that has broken my heart, that the whole of her session, the whole of that conversation is just lost forever in the ether of the internet. It's such a shame. However, you know, there's no such thing. Nothing's bad. It's either lessons or blessings. And that was a lesson. I'll know next time to tell any host that is coming in, do not go first. Whatever you do, do not press that live button until after me. I have to be the first one to do it. Yeah, so it is all a learning curve. This is my first ever one. It will not be my last ever one, let me tell you that. And just going off on a tangent while we wait for a couple of people if they want to come back in. It's because of you guys that it's been like so good. I have honestly loved every moment of this. It has really helped me feel so good. Yeah, she said no recording. Nope. No, I'm devastated. So yeah, it's all because of you guys in the chat. That's the reason why. I promise you. People joining in, people having chat, people getting involved. You know, it's just been wonderful, and you can't ask for better than that, than a lovely group of people coming in, talking, chatting. Yeah, I'm already like putting the feelers out. I'm going to do another one, you know, because I feel like workshops like these, I just don't want this to be the end. I know that sounds selfish, but I don't want it to be the end. I feel so good and I want this to continue. So, but anyway, shall we? It keeps it real. Oh, darling, does it keep it real? But shall we move on now to my presentation about my wellness tips? Let me get this going, because this is really helpful. Grab a pen and paper if you haven't got one already. It's my 5 wellness tips to scale your business without burnout. And I know that there's a couple of people in the chat that haven't started their business yet, but these are things you need to write down still, because it's really important that you know these things before you start. In my opinion, anyway, these are really, really important. So let me go back to the chat. Okay. Oh, Samantha, you're here. Yay. Lovely having you back. I hope everyone else can get on okay. That was pretty crazy. Okay, so grab your pen and paper. Let's go through my 5 wellness tips. You can scale without burnout. You can start without burnout. You're all good in the hood. Or screenshot, use your phone. Yes, Samantha, very intuitive of you. Tip number 1, mental clarity, daily CEO time. Okay, incorporate 15 to 30 minutes each morning or afternoon for zero input thinking. No screens, no meetings, just thinking or journaling. Why? It clears the mental clutter. You heard Astra talk about journaling. There is a reason journaling is become so big, because people have found it really helpful. It helps you zoom out and make better strategic decisions. And as a business owner by myself, with nobody else I don't have a team, I don't have other people to bounce ideas off of. Sometimes I can see so like this, blinkered, that zooming out and being able to see the bigger picture is really difficult. What journaling does is be able to write things down and write how you feel, put it away, come back to it. And then some days you come back to it with a whole different mindset and you're like, oh, okay. That doesn't resonate with me anymore. I don't feel like that anymore. Especially as women, my hormones are over the place. You can ask me a question on like day 1 of my cycle and day 10, and you'll get 2 different answers to the same question. Just because hormones, they change my mind and what my priority is at that time. At some point in my cycle, my priority is going to be, I'm going to be fatigued. And so my priority is going to be, what's the least amount of energy I can expend on this particular thing. But sometimes I'm going to be pumped and I'm going to be like, give me a to-do list as long as your arm. I am on fire. I can do it. Got myself a nice cup of tea. And I know it seems like, again, and I go back to like another thing you have to do. It's not, if you can take 15 minutes of time to get some mental clarity, then the things that you're worrying about will take less energy from your brain. That to me is worth its weight in gold. It's priceless. If you can clear some of your mental load by taking 15 minutes in a day to like dump it onto a piece of paper. I like to do an evening dump before bed. That sounds really inappropriate. I like to do an evening journaling session before bed. And because I find that if I don't, when I close my eyes, my brain starts overthinking things and starts thinking about things. And I can spend 30 minutes to an hour before I actually fall asleep thinking, and get myself in. If I think about things too much, I can get myself like anxiety ridden and excited or whatever. So I like to do my journaling before bed because it helps kind of take it from here and put it on over there. And because I've put it on a piece of paper over there, I can now forget about it for the moment until tomorrow when I come back and I look at it again. So it's really important. Try incorporating this into your life. If you want to be a successful CEO, you're going to have to take these steps. It's really, really important that, no business that is really, really successful is just built by a wing and a prayer or luck. Doing these daily habits give you the best chance at being the best version of yourself. And trust me, the best version of yourself is a successful, massive successful, or whatever that looks like to you, entrepreneur, or whatever you want to do. So here's your action step. Write down the highest leverage thing you can do today. So what's the thing that will make the most impact that you can do? That's really, really important. And, it might take you even a couple of minutes to think, because the to-do list, like I say, is so big that you're a little bit like, oh, I don't know where to start. So it might even take you half of the 15 minutes or 30 minutes to think of something that would be the highest on the list. But then once you've got it, and once you've got that time with no distractions, then that's really important. Yeah, clear the brain before you start your day. Absolutely. Keep TV and phones out of the bedroom. Love that, Samantha. Really, really important. So that's tip number 1. Let's move to tip number 2. Tip number 2, movement over hustle, physical energy. Okay, you just heard me say it. I now do 20-minute exercise every single morning when I wake up. 6 days a week. I try for 7. Last week I did 7 days a week because I felt great, but I do like to give myself Saturday mornings off. But last Saturday morning I didn't. I woke up and I felt great and I wanted to work out. But I will commit to 6 days a week. I will do 20 minutes in the morning. I wake up, I go brush my teeth, I put my sports bra on, I put a YouTube video on, and in my bottom half of my pajamas and my sports bra, in just woken up with my bed still messy, I do a 20-minute workout. And then I have a shower, then I sort the bed out, and all the mum things that you're supposed to do. We go downstairs, have breakfast, that type of thing. Incorporating 20 minutes in the morning exercise has changed my whole life. But this is what I mean about I've cleared so much of the clutter and of the baggage, thanks to Astra and all the work I've done behind the scenes for me. I want to do it. I remember back in the day, I hated the fact that I used to have to work out. I hated it. And I felt really resentful. Why can't I just have a naturally genetically skinny body? Why do I have to work out? Why are there these girls that can eat donuts and stay really thin? Why am I the one who has to put the work in, that has to put the hard work in? And it was very much the drama mindset. And that's, I'm gonna take what she said today. Sorry, I'm gonna really, 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 really try and move forward from a place of detoxing from the drama. That's what I'm going to try. So try and incorporate some movement, 10 to 20 minutes, stretch, workouts, deep work sessions between meetings, whatever you can do. I'm telling you, your energy will be boosted. My mood is boosted. My focus is sharper. I do not have as much brain fog. I feel better. My skin is clearer. There is just no negative side of it. And because I'm literally basically doing it in my pajamas, it doesn't feel like an effort as well. It's literally wake up, brush my teeth, workout, done. And that's my morning. And that's what I do. And because I've done that before I've even had a shower and then got dressed, I feel on top of the world. Like most people, I'm just like, everyone's sitting there just waking up, setting their alarms, and I've already done a workout. And that makes me feel really good. Action step, set a timer every 90 minutes to move if you can, or take walking meetings if you can. These are really easy things that you can incorporate. You're not going to be able to do it every day, obviously. I've been sat down for nearly 2 hours now, went up to, make a cup of tea, but it happens. But in general, if you can just get into a mindset. So every single day in the morning before breakfast, I will do my 20-minute little workout. And then when Zeke is at school, I will try and do a 45-minute to an hour walk and try and get my step count up. Those two things, have been hugely beneficial to me. So move your body. You'll feel great. Okay, tip number 3, recovery. Protect sleep like revenue. Brian Johnson, I don't know if you know who Brian Johnson is. Brian Johnson is the man that is trying to reverse his age. That billionaire in America who's like ginger and pale as a ghost, and he pays £1 billion a year for all these fandangled health things to try and reverse his aging and don't die, I think the movement's called. He is number one advocate for sleep, and he says that women certainly are supposed to have on average 9 to 10 hours sleep a night, but if a human being has a lack of sleep, anything from, I think he said, I think it was something like 5 or 6 hours, so half the amount of sleep that they should have, then it is equivalent to the brain as blunt force trauma. That's how damaging it is to your brain. And now, as you guys know, if you are parents, I experienced blunt force trauma on a daily basis for about 4 years. My son did not. He was an early riser. He did not sleep through for a very, 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 very long time. When he was born, you're with a newborn, I was in lockdown by myself. And so I was living on like 45 minutes broken sleep, caring for a newborn baby in my house by myself, recovering from an emergency C-section. So that was very, very tough. So yeah, and there was a point I remember in lockdown where I was so tired that I was hallucinating. It was real, that there was real brain trauma going on, and I am finally on the other side of that. He sleeps through the night, and usually he used to be an early riser between 4 and 5, and we've managed to just bide the time, and he's now 6 o'clock-ish, between 6 and 20 past 6, which is fine because I always set my alarm for 6:30, because that to me is a sweet spot. I'm not a 5 a.m.er. I can't wake up at 5 a.m. I did it for like 3 years solid with my child, and I'm like, that time of day doesn't suit my body. 6:30 is my sweet spot. I love waking up at 6:30. It's early enough to get my exercises in and still do what we need to do for our morning routine, but it's not so early that I'm exhausted. And that's what I was saying earlier. Because I'm well rested, I wake up and I want to work out because I'm well rested. So really, 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 I think Samantha said about phones out of the bedroom. Set a shutdown ritual. Make it something lovely. No screens, a little reading lamp, sleep mask, read a book, read your Kindle, whatever it may be. Like, you will have a better sleep if you fall asleep reading than you will if you're watching a Netflix. I promise you that. And obviously the why, deep sleep supports memory. We need that, don't we, mamas? Energy, hormone balance, and resilience. Really, really important. Being a resilient leader is the only way you will make big success. You have to be resilient. All the millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires are resilient. They won't give up. They learn how to pivot quickly. They accept change. They're very, very resilient. The stress that CEO, big corporations, people, not corporations, but big, people have to go through is a lot of stress. And then your action step, use a sleep app like Sleep Cycle or Aura to track and improve your sleep. Because once you know about your sleep, you'll know. He's creepy, Samantha. Yeah, he is a bit creepy, but he's interesting. I follow him on social media. Oh, I got excited then. I missed my mouth. But it's interesting. It's interesting. He's got all the money in the world and he's trying all these new things, and I find him fascinating. Okay, let's move over. Tip number 4, stress regulation. Really, really important. 5-minute resets. Really, really important. As a successful business owner, you are going to be under a lot of stress. As a worker, you may have stress, but it won't be the same. Business owner stress is real stress. It's like a real DNA level stress, because you're making decisions for your future that you don't know whether or not they're the right or wrong decision yet. You're only going to know if it's right through hindsight, and then it's too late. So you have to be able to make informed decisions under really stressful environments. We've seen in the last year so many businesses announce that they're closing down. Sarah Ashcroft at SLA, Tommy Mallet had a drama with Mallet. He now doesn't have anything to do with Mallet anymore. In the Style, Sheer Lux as well, which is absolutely wild. Sheer Lux turned over a revenue of like 30 million, and he just announced that they're closing down with nothing. They have nothing. It blows my mind that you can build a company that has a 30 million pound revenue and a year later have zero, not a pot to pee in. It's really stressful, very, very stressful. And I don't know the ins and outs of why those businesses properly folded, but the point is the stress levels must have been through the roof. And it's really, really important that you, as a business owner, maintain your stress levels. Obviously, the why keeps cortisol in check, prevents long-term burnout. That's what we want. We don't want you to burn out. You don't want to be burnt out. You don't want to be one of those CEOs that's burnt out, that can't give anything to their friends or the family, that's lost the joy in life, that sees life as like grey. rather than the beautiful, wonderful colours that it is. Like this, you don't want life to be like that. A 5-minute breathing, mindfulness or journaling session resets your nervous system. I also like to do EFT tapping. EFT tapping, I don't know why it works. I just know it works. And basically I just take these 2 fingers and I tap for like with a mantra. So say, for example, I feel dysregulated and I feel anxious, then I will tap and I will say, I feel safe. I feel safe. I feel safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. There is nothing to be scared of right now. There is nothing to be scared of. And I will tap round my face, here on my lip and on my chin and on my hand there and on my pulse points and then under my arm and on my clavicle. 2 rounds of repeating the mantras 3 times, and I will physically feel my anxiety come down and my nervous system regulate. I don't know how it works. I assume it's because, and if anyone knows about EFT tapping, they're probably going to laugh at me because this probably sounds ridiculous. But my educated guess or uneducated guess would be it works because your brain can't do 2 things at once. So the tapping, your brain is going, are we in danger? What's that tapping? Where's that coming from? And then the mantras you're speaking words are like spells, aren't they? So you're bringing that down. And so you're almost like going through like a loophole. You're bypassing the anxiety because your brain is like, huh? And because you're moving the tapping around, your brain doesn't know what's coming next. So it's all a bit like, huh? What's going on? Are we, what's happening? And so your brain is so distracted with the tapping and the mantras that it completely forgets about the anxiety. So try some EFT tapping, or if that's a bit too airy-fairy, just some box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Really, really simple. So give that a go. And then my final one, build emotional wealth too. Okay, this is really, really, really important. You should try and schedule monthly checkups with mentors, friends, or mastermind groups. I am testament to how lonely and isolating building a business is. It's really, really difficult when you literally have nobody to pick up the phone and talk to about stuff, and not even ask them questions, just people that get it. It's really important you try and find a group of like-minded people, because it keeps intentional connection keeps you grounded and supportive. And then as I was doing these, I was like, actually, it's really important that I create something that, again, like Astra said, like what's next. So we at Kidfluence have a Brandfluence part of our business that is the support network, or you can join any other support network or Facebook group that align with you. It literally doesn't matter where or how, just what feels good for you. And Brandfluence for me is obviously my baby. That's what we do. I will tell you more about Brandfluence tomorrow if you decide that you are interested in it, but just gives you an idea. It's support community momentum. We catch you, then launch you, support you when you need it, momentum when you're ready to rise. And that's the community that I've created through Brandfluence, that is basically just hopefully your support network, because I never had it. You know, I've joined a lot of Facebook groups, a lot of entrepreneurial Facebook groups. And what I've actually found is you got to pay for them. You got to pay to join, which I find really interesting, because I'm like, it's a Facebook group. You know, fair enough if you're joining like a proper networking, like the BNI or something like that, but it's a Facebook group. How are you charging £25 a month for a Facebook group? I found that really interesting. But, you know, each their own. And if they're making good money out of it, great. And if it builds connection, absolutely fabulous. I just thought it was, you know, I haven't been on Facebook in a really long time. I deleted Facebook about 10 years ago because let me stop sharing these slides, actually. Hang on. We're done now. I'll tell you more about Brandfluence tomorrow. If you want to join us, we've got a membership for it, but I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. But if you know, it's coming, so don't worry. I'm not just going to leave you in the lurch. There will be more net to build on what you've learned. So, but we'll go through brand influence tomorrow. But going back to Facebook, I deleted it about 10 years ago. I saw my last ever post. I saw a dog being held up by the neck and being punched. And then that was it. I was like, it's turning into a horrible place. So I deleted my Facebook. Obviously, starting a business, you kind of need Facebook, which I resisted for a really long time. So I've only been really active on there for the last year, I would say. And it's changed a lot, obviously. But the main thing that I found really interesting is the groups. And we have a Facebook group, obviously Thrive. I think most of you, or if not all of you, are part of the Thrive Business Builder Facebook group. But it's just, yeah, it was just interesting. There's so many wonderful groups on there, and connection is at the heart of it, I suppose. Intentional connection. Finding, people often talk about finding your tribe, and I don't think I ever really found that. I feel like different chapters of my life have been different. I've had different people. I've had different friendship groups. I've had people come and go. And I really feel like this chapter I've cleared, I still have obviously friends. I've got friends from school. But my close friends, I'm kind of building and becoming new. I'm in that sort of Alex Hormozy talks about, when you're in a business, there's a stage where you've kind of outgrown all of your old friends, but you're not yet economically rich enough to be in the rooms with like the new people. You've got the mindset right, but the money hasn't come in yet where you're sort of in those rooms. So you're kind of in this like nomad land where you're kind of in limbo. And he talks about the fact that that's a really, when you find yourself like in that limbo, it's a really great sign. You are on the cusp of the next breakthrough, because you are mentally leveled up. You're just waiting for the money to come, and the money will come if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, moving forward, making sure that you are taking the baby steps. Yeah, the limbo. Yeah, right. Like he talks about it a lot, and I love the way Alex Hormozy, he is built like 100. I think him and his wife Layla, they have a net worth, I think, of 500 million. They built acquisition.com, which is, I think, valued at over 500 million. It was 100 million, but I mean, they're mega. They're like the ultimate business power couple. And he talks, really just matter of fact about it. And he says, and this is what he talks about. He talks about, you're going to get to a stage in your business where you have outgrown your friends, because that's just what it is. And you'll still have your lifelong friends, and they'll still be friends, but you to level up, if you're earning like 30 grand a month, for example, then you're going to have access to, and you're going to be in rooms, and you're going to be at restaurants, and you're going to be doing activities that other people that can afford 30 grand a month are doing. You are going to be just around different people, because different doors will be open to you, because you're earning 30 grand a month, and other people are earning 3 grand a month, for example. I cried over the outgoing phrase loads. It's like grief. It is, darling. It is like grief, because, and you do have to grieve. It is your old life. It is your old life. It is your old friends. It's your old coping mechanisms. It's your old default positions. You can't really level up until you let go of who you used to be. And I think that goes back to a lot of what Astra said, which I think is important. And then for the last sort of 5 minutes, the last tip that I'll give you that wasn't on the plan, but I just really wanted to say as well, is I heard a quote the other day that just completely floored me and was like, oh my God, that's so important. Yesterday, we were talking with Sophie, if you were here yesterday, about she put up different pictures, and people would talk about what the feelings that they had of those people. And I found it really interesting because, this group was, I think, relatively nice. But I have heard in previous groups and sessions that she has done that with, people have gone all in. And I mean all in, because, she's put some controversial names up there. One of the things that I've worked on this year as well is changing my relationship with media and social media. Because the quote I heard was, if you are easily offended, you are easily manipulated. And that like shook me, because I was like, ooh, okay, interesting. I often would read a headline or see something about somebody in the public eye, and it would make me really angry. And I think Elon Musk is a good example of that. You know, people are very, very, very angry with Elon Musk, for example. And it was a good feeling away about a complete stranger that was negative, and to the point where it made me angry. I had to take a good look at myself and my relationship with social media and media, because social media and media shouldn't make me feel that way, because it didn't serve me. I've never met Elon Musk. I don't know, what he's like in any way. I see headlines, but that's about it. I just see headlines, and then I take that as kind of my opinion, which is wrong. So I've really tried to, this year, readdress my relationship with the media and social media, to make sure that I'm not consuming any media or social media that makes me pissed off or upset or angry or low vibration. I can't do anything about anything that's happening outside of my own home. And this is not me advocating like ignorance. I don't want you to be ignorant to stuff, that's not what it is. You can be informed, you just don't need to be inundated. And there's a lot of bad stuff on social media that is very heavy. And as a business owner, you can't take that on. That is my advice, of just strip yourself free of the burden of taking on things that are outside of your own control. You cannot change, the war in Gaza. You cannot, to the day that you die, do anything about it. You can send your love and your prayers and good vibes, but you can't do anything about it. So do not spend your time looking at, dead babies or consuming that type of thing, because it's only a distraction from you. And it's really important that you focus on you. I feel like this is the year of the phoenix rising from the ashes. I don't know if you feel it, but I certainly do. I feel like there's been a shift in almost like human consciousness, where so many people are like, this year's about me, and leveling up and realizing. I think for a really long time we were told, like, I think it was Samantha that said, the saying that the money is the root of all evil. We have been told that in my generation, certainly since we were children. And there's a lot of people that are waking up to the fact that actually that's just not true. Money just amplifies who you are. If you're a good person, when money comes to you, you'll be good. Look at Melinda Gates. Melinda Gates does wonderful things with her money. She does amazing things with her money, because I believe that she's a good person. If you're a shitty person, then you'll do shitty things with your money. It just amplifies. It just gives you more opportunity. It's not good or bad. It just amplifies who you are. If you're a good person, you'll be more good. If you're a bad person, you'll be more bad. It's just how it is. And so just, closing thoughts is, I want you to protect your peace. That is really, really important. I want you to protect it. So if you find yourself in the next day, obviously we're coming back tomorrow. I'll hopefully see you all again tomorrow. But if you're coming back again between now and tomorrow, and over the next few hours, just be aware. Anything in your aura or your vicinity that disrupts your peace. I personally feel really peaceful and relaxed and positive, and hopeful. I feel like my underlying feeling is, yesterday I came off feeling like pumped. I came off like, I was like, yeah, like woohoo. Whereas today I just feel a lot calmer, which to me is a good thing, because again, I'm trying not to be addicted to the drama. I just feel a lot more peaceful and a lot more, okay, yeah, we had a great session and I learned so much, and I can feel it kind of in my subconscious, like it's all trickling down. But just in the next few hours, recognize anything that comes into your aura or your space or your eyes that doesn't make you feel great. And it's okay that doesn't make you feel great, but just recognizing it, because once you recognize those things, you can then, like I had a word with myself in my brain, you can stop it. If you're living in the subconscious and you don't even recognize it, and you're just seeing all these images, you don't even realize the news is on the background and it's just war, heavy, try not to do it. Spend the next few hours having a lovely detox. Try and get a walk in nature if you can, although the weather is pretty poor, but if you can get out into some nature, that would be amazing. Try and move your body. Try and take some action tips. I know a lot of you have booked in to see Astra. And so, yeah, just know that the future looks really bright. It really does. We're going to have such a good future. I just feel it in my bones. Yay! Okay, so tomorrow we're going to start the session with a grounding exercise with Naomi. Naomi is a wonderful friend of mine. Her journey has been, oh my God, it's been amazing to watch. She has risen from the ashes and stepped into her true sense of purpose. And I hope you'll feel, nothing but love coming from her, because that's every time I speak to her, she's just, her aura, her presence, she just gives so much. And I just always feel so good. So she's going to open the session with just like a 10-minute thing. Then we're going to talk about marketing. I'm going to give you some really good marketing tips. We're going to talk about influence marketing, obviously, because that's my forte. What to avoid, how to do it, all that type of thing. And then the last part of the session, I've put together a pack for Brandfluence. So again, no pressure. And I'll say this again tomorrow. If you want to join us, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. It is completely up to you. But I do have a pack if you want to continue on and join our community. That's, no problem either way. So it's been really good. I've had a great day, apart from the malfunction, and I will make sure, lesson learned, I go on live first. I hope you have a really nice afternoon. I hope that you feel as good as I do, because I feel great. And yeah, if you're still here and you haven't left yet, then I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 10 a.m. sharp again for our final day. I mean, I feel like we've had a breakthrough today. I don't know about you, but yeah. All right, my darlings. All right. I don't know if you're still here. Everyone's gone quiet in the chat, but I will love you and leave you. It is 12 on the dot, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, my darlings. See you tomorrow. Yay. Bye.